Today I wanted to take a moment to talk a little bit about patience and the trap of impatience, and it's something that's been coming up for me. And when we experience impatience, or when we're in a state of impatience, we're certainly not in the experience of peace. We're certainly not heading in the direction of what we truly want, which is peace, joy, to follow spirit. And impatience can come up in many different ways. The most recognized way is when we want something so bad, we want something that lies in the future so bad that we become impatient. And so it's this state of being where there's a constant frustration with the delay of what has yet to be brought into our experience. And for me, I know there's been many times when I've wanted things now. And really what that's about is in the moment of experiencing impatience, it's a belief in a lack. That which I think the thing will bring me is not in my current experience, or not part of me. And as I reflect on my past, I remember specifically one time where I wanted a Mercedes-Benz. I wanted a Mercedes-Benz car so bad. And I had a car. I had a functioning car that was running quite well, actually. And it was relatively new, but in my mind at the time, I certainly felt a sense of lack because I wanted the symbol of Mercedes, which for me represented abundance now. And so what I did was I ended up using whatever funds were available to me at that time, and I went out and I leased this Mercedes-Benz. And for a short time, I was certainly happy to have this Mercedes-Benz, but at the same time, I had this other car. So I had two cars in this experience. And so with these two cars in my experience, I started to financially drain myself. So symbolically, the world or my experience was only reflecting back the original belief, which was this sense of lack, not being abundant. And so this act of impatience to get the Mercedes now really didn't do anything to take care of the problem. The best that it did was give me a couple of months of satisfaction of driving this really what I thought at the time was a really cool car, only to be followed up with a lot of stress and anxiety about having these two car payments. Impatience can also show up in the experience for me in work. I know there was time, actually impatience is coming up for me right now as I have my dogs walking all around me and pulling my attention away. There's a sense of impatience of, guys, get out of here. There's this sense that I'm going to somehow lose my message because the dogs are in the quote-unquote in the way. And when we recognize that that's not possible, when we recognize that that's actually not possible, that in fact, there is nothing lacking, and if anything, this what could be perceived by the ego as impatience can actually add value and make this actually much more interesting when our perception is shifted to the miracle. But I was going to talk about work and explain how in my life there was a time when I wanted to get promoted. I wanted that new job. I wanted that new opportunity. And out of frustration because I didn't get the job, I wanted this promotion. I wanted to move up in the company. And so I was very impatient for this job. Again, it was basically a reflection of an underlying belief that somehow I wasn't enough. I wasn't making enough money. I wasn't, doing what I thought I should be doing. And so there was a lot of impatience to get this promotion. And then when I didn't get the promotion, I was very frustrated. And that's my dog knocking me over. And ended up quitting my job, only to end up in another job, which I ended up quitting within 2 weeks because it was not aligned with my values and certainly became more frustrating. It ended up reflecting, again, back the lack. So when we experience frustration, the underlying belief is some sense of lack, some sense of I'm not whole, I'm not complete. When we look at A Course in Miracles, there's a line in Course in Miracles that says, only infinite patience can produce immediate results. What the Course is really leading us to is a sense of presence in which patience becomes a state of grace, a quiet state of peace in which truth can be known. The present moment can be known to us as full and complete. So rather than frustration because there seems to be delay in what we think we can get, which we can never get from time, we can never get it in a future experience, or never get it outside of what is immediately available to us. When we choose patience or infinite patience that the Course is referring to, we're actually opening up ourselves to the realization that in fact we are always whole, we are always complete. And the practice of patience is really the practice of presence. It's the practice of allowing ourselves to be fully present in the moment and embracing all things as they are and recognizing that in each and every moment we are perfect and whole. Even though we have dogs fighting below our feet here, nothing changes that. So if you feel like you're experiencing some kind of impatience, just reset yourself right back to this moment and recognize that there isn't anything lacking. And our mission or our purpose here is to forgive, is to see beyond the timeline of a future experience that's going to somehow give us something that we don't already have right now, right here, right now, whole and complete.